Hey everyone, it's Big Dog from the Big Dog Random Show. You're listening to Bigfoot Club Podcast.
Hey guys, please go to our website at www.bigfootclubpodcast.com. Check out our merch and all episodes. Also, please look for our social media at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Bigfoot Club 1. That's Bigfoot Club number 1. Also, check out Matt Knapp's Bigfoot Crossroads on YouTube. Check out our new sponsor. For your Bigfoot-sized coffee cravings, visit cbgindustries.store. They have over 40 products to choose from. When you enter promo code FIRSTSIP, you will receive a discount on your first order. Remember, every moment has its flavor.
Hey everybody, Robert Jesse Dominguez, Bigfoot Club, Season 5, Episode 16. I'm here with Steven. Steven, say what's up. Uh-oh. Somebody's messaging me.
Nice. You want to restart or you?
No, that's fine. We can.
Anyway, what's up? What's going on, man?
And we also got on the show Matthew.
He's not a guest. He's with us.
I didn't even say. Did I say guest?
Oh, I thought you did. My bad. If you didn't, sorry.
No, we have also with us Matthew Bartholomew
Reginald
Nappers. Matt, what's up?
That's my government name.
What's going on with you, man?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
You haven't been on the show for a while, have you?
Not in a long time.
Yeah, it's been about.
I don't think I've been on the newest season. Is this a new season?
Yeah, because we're 16, right?
No,
not on this season. I don't think so.
No, I could have sworn we did. Hold on, you're gonna make me look now.
You don't have to look.
He's doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
He's fact checking right now, not checking.
Checking.
Let
me see here. No, Matt, you were on episode. It was the one they called "Sounds Like Bigfoot to Me."
Oh yeah, he was.
And then Chris was on right after that one, and then Blair was on after that one, and then we had the Haunted Medium. We had Luke Gross,
the Blair Witch Project,
and then Matt, you were on our 100th episode.
That's right,
2 times.
2 times.
I thought maybe you had started a new season since.
No, we're not. I mean, we probably need to take a break. We can't be like you and not take breaks and go 81 episodes straight.
He was telling
you gotta
me
crank
that,
them
Matt.
out.
Is that true, Matt? Like you have not
crank them out. I've missed a week or two here and there.
I like how he's just
that was not of his doing though. He didn't plan on.
He didn't do it on purpose.
He didn't have power. Was that one of them?
Yeah, it was during that storm, right?
Yeah, and then there's like last year I got COVID, or the year before that. One of the years last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In 2022, on Father's Day, I got COVID, and I don't think I did a show that week.
The last time I had COVID, it was on my birthday. Where
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Oh.
I got the official the call from the doctor saying, hey, so the results came back. I don't know why it took so long. The results came back. You have COVID. It was on my birthday.
Nice.
I was like, and then they're all like, and we noticed that it's your birthday. Happy birthday. Thanks. Thank you.
Who is this, Baylor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the nurses. I'm like, hey, I just noticed this. I'm sorry that you have COVID, but happy birthday.
It was actually Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, yep. They called me in the AM too, so I guess it was AM in Texas.
Did you guys have storms there today?
It rained. It wasn't really a storm.
Yeah.
And the power didn't go out, so that's a plus.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 Saturdays, the power went out.
Yeah, and I was here and I slept all hot and sweaty.
I did not sleep because, I don't have my CPAP machine, so if it doesn't, no power, can't use it.
Yeah, we should have got a hotel room and then broke the table.
Dang. I didn't say it, Matt. I didn't say it. That was all Bob. We lost him. He is gone. He's about to pass out.
Just sit in it.
I guess.
You just sit in it.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Matt. I didn't mean to do that. It just came out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
So,
I'm eating Teddy Grahams.
Yeah, he's eating Teddy Grahams. What's going on with Bigfoot Crossroads?
Nothing.
Talk to us about it. Hit us. Come on. Bigfoot Crossroads.
Crosswords.
Bigfoot Crossroads
puzzle.
is our jam. That's our jam, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
I just recently had an episode with a woman who had a Bigfoot sighting in Mexico.
I did see that.
Rosie, right? Rosie?
Rosie, yeah. Kind of crazy. I had never talked to anybody who's had a sighting in Mexico.
Okay, I'm going to assume. Okay, I'm just guessing because I don't think.
New Mexico? Sorry.
No, it's Mexico.
Actually, Mexico?
Mexico, yeah.
Old Mexico.
Yeah, I listened to it, but I don't think she said exactly where it was at, right?
No, she did not.
So I'm going to assume, and you can say yes or no, it's up to you. That was on the Pacific side, right?
Yes or no?
Yes. I'm going to assume it was.
It was.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. No.
That is, I have never heard
Nope.
of a story. I mean, there's lore in South America
Right.
of
right.
Bigfoot, but no, I've never heard stories.
I mean, there's definitely, Mexico has a, like you're saying, folklore of a Bigfoot type creature. But I mean, her description and everything, everything about it just sounded like a typical Pacific Northwest Sasquatch sighting.
That's
It was like a roadside encounter and everything. And so obviously I know like there's jungle and stuff in Mexico. And I'm familiar with that. But for some reason, whenever you think about Mexico, you just classically go back to that, stereotypical movie scene of like the desert, and the small town and villages and stuff.
No grass. No grass.
Right. Yeah. Like a dog running across the road.
yeah.
But she sent me like, screenshots of like a map of the area, and it was like a heavily forested area, with some foothills of a mountain range and stuff. And it just looked like Northern California pretty much.
Wow. That's because
I guess it makes sense. I mean, the area.
yeah. Bigfoot's crossed the border, man. They don't care.
They don't care. Yeah. Obviously they don't care. They don't see it as borders. They just see something. Oh, what's that over there? Maybe he was coming back from vacation.
Possible.
She kind of had like a theory as to what happened, and I have to admit that her theory sounded pretty sound to me. Like I think she's maybe accurate. We don't know, of course, but
Right, it's
it was
conjecture.
like, there was like rain in the area or a storm or something, or it was getting ready to storm, and it had rained previously before that. It's kind of dusk, the sun's going down, it's starting to get dark and everything. There's overcast, and they're on just this isolated road that's winding around through the woods, basically. And it was standing next to a tree on the side of the road, right at a sharp curve in the road, and just watching them drive by, basically. And she said it had like a tree branch that it was holding on to and kind of pulling up in front of its face, but it wasn't blocking its face or anything. Like, how you hear those reports of like Bigfoot trying to hide themselves behind stuff and they're not hidden at all?
Yeah,
it was like one of those scenarios.
Like by just standing still, right? They think they're not.
Yeah. And so it was like doing that. And one of the things that she mentioned that kind of supports her theory, her friend was driving, and her friend's just from the area, totally oblivious to everything, isn't concerned, like the car's overheating, they're trying to make it to this town, for the night and everything. Her friend's not worried, not paying attention, just driving. And she said her friend put on that Enya song, Sail Away.
What the hell?
And was just like blasting it. Okay. And they had the windows down and everything, and they're on this, like I said, an isolated road out in the middle of nowhere, just blasting Enya. And this thing probably ran up there to check them out as they drove by. What's that sound?
If someone's blasting stereo where they're driving down a isolated road. I mean, I can imagine anybody would go, "Hey, what's that? What's that noise?"
Yeah.
And try to check it out. So,
and you'd be able to hear it for really far away too.
Wow.
Did she? I know I listened to it, but did she go into like details on whether it was male, female, if it was juvenile or it was an alpha?
She
maybe?
kept on saying he. She kept on referring to it as a male.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ask specifically why she said that. She said that she felt that it looked like a juvenile. She said it didn't look old. Its skin wasn't wrinkled or anything like that. And it was covered in really dark hair, almost black. The hair was in the longer parts about 5 inches long, I think she said.
Wow.
A thick coat of hair. She said maybe 7 foot tall or so. Not really any whites to the eyes, but they weren't just like solid black or anything. She said it just, kind of looked like a cross between a gorilla and a person. She sent me a couple pictures. She went out on her own looking at artwork of Bigfoot, trying to find something that kind of looked similar. And she had sent me a drawing of a face. It's a rendering, a digital rendering that my friend David Schlosser did. And then she sent me another digital drawing that an artist named Michael Broom did, and said that the body was almost identical proportion wise to the one by Michael Broom, and the face was very similar to the one by David. And I found that kind of interesting because David's actually done a rendering for me for one that I saw, my first sighting.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he works with witnesses whenever he does these renderings, and that's how he comes up with them. So it's interesting that she independently picked that on her own. And
it's almost eerie irony, how she.
Yeah. Pretty weird.
I mean, she kind of sounds like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Matt, but she kind of sounds like she's not a person that is looking to get famous or be popular because of this sighting. She just wanted to talk about it. Yeah,
she is like a member of one of those generic Bigfoot groups on Facebook. The ones I'm talking about, like the really huge ones that just post a bunch of stuff. And somebody at some point had asked anybody if they had a Bigfoot sighting and could tell about it or whatever. And there's probably about, 20 people or so that responded. And she was just one of them. And I had taken a screen capture of her response and saved it, and ended up reaching out to her way later and started talking to her. And at first I just asked her, hey, can you tell me more about your Bigfoot sighting? And she had mentioned a couple of town names in her original post, which later on she told me that she doesn't want that known. She doesn't want it mentioned or anything. So that's why we didn't mention it on air. But at first I didn't know. I just assumed it was in California. I didn't recognize the town names at all. And at least one of them was very Hispanic sounding. So I just thought it was in California somewhere. And then I actually looked them up. And I was like, holy crap, these are in Mexico. Did she have a sighting in Mexico? And that's why I reached out to her.
That's just rare.
Man, that is so odd. Because whenever you had told, because we talked off show about that, and you told me that, I said, "Oh my God, I'd love to talk to her too." Because that, number one, I'm Hispanic, and that kind of just drives home to me. I said, "Man, you rarely hear that." I mean, there's hardly any stories, or there's probably a lot of stories, but people just don't come forward, and talk about it.
Yeah, she said. I mean, she didn't even tell the friend that was driving at the time. She said there was definitely an exchange that they had where it was her friend asked her, what's wrong with you or whatever. And she was just I just had a life-changing experience. And she really, honestly, talking to so many different witnesses, it's something that I've heard before, and I know you've heard before. It sounded like she was kind of in a state of shock, and just kind of shut down. And then She did share it with a friend of hers who that she knew was into Bigfoot and stuff like that. And other than that, she maybe told a couple people. And this happened in 2005, I think she said.
Wow. She held it that long?
Yeah. And she said a couple years ago or whatever, she had just, thought about it and decided to kind of look up stuff to see if she could find anybody else that had seen one in Mexico, and couldn't really find any information. And she joined that Facebook group that I saw her in, and that one post that she made, but nobody responded to her or anything. And like I said, it was just one of many other commenters.
They are.
Yeah, so I just reached out to her, and that's how it happened.
There is 11 sightings in San Diego County alone.
San Diego?
Yep. And that's
Yeah,
that's right on the border.
Zoobies around there, I think.
Yeah.
Huh.
They date back into 1970.
Wow.
68, 1970, 1981, 1982, 88, 93, 98, 2012, 2019. So it's I didn't think that was that many down there. But man, that explains it, because
I will say this, though. Her sighting took place nowhere near California.
Right. Right, but I'm just saying, close to the border.
Yeah, but so it kind of makes me wonder if there's not more activity going on down there, but there's just nobody reporting it because it's Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
That is...
I mean, I can tell you for a fact, I've never heard of any researchers in Mexico.
That...
Maybe we should get our friend Daniel Perez over there.
I mean, you've got Russia and Australia and the UK. That's pretty much it. Outside of North America.
Yeah, they always constantly does sighting reports.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's shocking, man.
It is shocking.
We got some, Bigfoot in Mexico that's just...
You're about to say something bad, weren't you?
I was making sure my words were careful, but, we got, we have Bigfoots in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder how many, like what Matt said, like how much of sightings that happened that has not been reported. We get that and we're like, oh man, that's just rare and one, but really that's probably really active.
Man, you got tons of paranormal stuff now happening down there. You got Thunderbirds, you got
La Chuza,
Llorona, yeah. So you got all that stuff going on, and why not Bigfoot there?
Oh yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm so.
It caught you off surprise.
It caught me off surprise. I was like, oh okay, I've heard of. I even asked you when I was a kid too. I was like, you ever heard of the desert Bigfoot? And you were like, yeah, I actually have, but that's. I think you were like, I don't think there's any Bigfoot in the desert, but you never know.
Yeah, there's tons of like canyons and like crevices. Did I say that right? Crevices. Mm-hmm. Like in the desert that people don't normally see, and then there's trees that grow in there, and they go out, and sometimes you see it as a bush, but when you walk up to it, it's deep, and there's a big tree in there. So Bigfoots can move through the desert, or in like New Mexico or Arizona, without even being seen.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, as a podcast host, especially with my show, I pretty much feature the witness. Every once in a while, I'll have somebody like you on or something, and we'll just talk about stuff. But typically, I have a witness on explaining their encounter. Mm-hmm. And I try not to get involved in that, other than just the conversation. Mm-hmm. And sometimes... I'll have a witness on where they'll tell me their story, and it's just like, I don't know, kind of not really believing that one. Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie. Most of the time, the vast majority of the time, though, it's just a situation where, well, I wasn't there. So it could happen. I certainly believe it could happen. But she's one of the ones where I'm like, 100% I believe her.
Yeah.
I absolutely believe she had her sighting just like she says she did.
Yeah, because like again, she just seemed like a person who wants to be popular or is trying to be famous off her sighting. Because number one, she's held it in for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And
since 2005.
Yeah.
Whew. Man.
Now she may change her mind now that she's done my podcast. She may, it may have sparked something in her. I've seen that happen. It just recently happened to another witness I had on who's now like it's got him a little fired up and he wants some answers,
Yeah, he's doing a tour around or what?
Well, he just asked for me to put him in touch with some people in his area if I knew anybody that could maybe, talk to him more about sightings in that area that he's in and everything. With her, I asked her, so where do you go from here? Are you trying to learn more about these things? Would you ever go out looking for them? And she was like, nope. I know they exist. I know what they look like. I don't need to know any more than that. I'm content with that.
Yeah, I think our last podcast we interviewed John Burton from Alabama, and he was like a Bigfoot enthusiast growing up as a teenager. He actually joined the Patterson like Bigfoot Club or something. So they sent him like a 6x9 autograph with a Mr. Patterson, and I guess back then, and I guess he got like a newsletter or something. So, wow. and then he had an incident in North Carolina, and he said, "I don't care to ever see it again." So, he's like in his 70s, but he was, you can tell he was kind of shook up about it. He didn't want to go into detail about it, how scared he was, but you can tell he was.
Did he get a Bigfoot decoder ring?
I know, right?
It's just the way he said, I saw it outside the window, and my first instinct was to grab the camera, but instead he grabbed his gun.
His 38. Yeah, that would have just pissed it off.
Yeah, and he said whenever he did do that, didn't he say that it grunted?
Yeah, it kind of like
knew.
It like looked back at him and went,
yeah,
and then walked off and like knocked over a big tall plant.
He did the Malarkey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but he said something to me that was kind of odd. He said to me that its face was flat.
Yeah, that's where I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't, I don't know, I wasn't prepared for that. So flat, and I go, okay.
Maybe it was the hair, so much hair sticking out, and made it seem like his features were flat. I don't know.
Well, maybe. A lot of people use like the term flat face to describe humans. Mm-hmm. Where like apes have the pronounced mouth area or whatever that sticks out. And most witnesses say that Bigfoot doesn't have that. The one that I saw did not have that. It would be described as a flat face.
I'm pretty sure there's been incidents where people say that they show their teeth. Like growling. Like, have they been able to distinct like the type of teeth? Is that upstairs?
Most people say they have like squared off block teeth.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Regular teeth, like I guess human. Yeah. Not human. What's the word I'm looking for?
Humanoid.
Well, just regular teeth. Not what I'm trying to say. Like it's not like sharp teeth. Like
you
like
mean
a dog
like canine?
Canine. Okay. Yes.
I mean, you've got that crowd out there that talk about the
dog man.
The
woo
Chinasqua and things like that. The Ohio meat-eating giants and stuff that have like sharp teeth, and I think that's just a little bit of fantasy to get people riled up.
I think it's embellishment probably. So, but yeah, that's actually pretty good, Steven, that you caught that.
About the teeth?
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes me wonder, like, everybody's got, I guess, teeth problems. That makes me wonder, like, dang, did they take out their own teeth or? Yeah,
whenever we were doing John's story on season 2. He was originally telling me that he saw this Bigfoot jump off that big cliff and land in front of him
like a superhero.
And before he told me anything else, this was on the phone. I wasn't recording him. I go, did it rock back and forth? Did it show you its teeth? Did it grab branches? And he goes, man, holy shit, were you there, dude? That's what he told me. And I said, no, continue. Go ahead and continue with your story, because I wanted to see if it was trying to show this. Because to me, that shows like aggression, like it's trying to push you out of an area rather than harm you and kill you. Because if it wanted to kill you, it'd kill you. But if it wanted to push you out of area, it's going to show you its teeth, it's going to rock back and forth. It's going to display aggression by thrashing bushes or trees or whatever. So
you got, okay. I think I've talked to you about this one. Like you got humans were so flawed, and we have like those humans, or people that are serial killers. Like they like to kill. Like there's got to be one where like a Bigfoot is like that, or
sure.
Like do they police that? They're like, no, you're not supposed to do that. Like in their own way of saying like, no, you cannot do that.
Do they have a Bigfoot Dexter?
Yes, exactly. A Bigfoot Dexter, yes,
or Mr. Robot,
yeah.
Bigfoot. Oh, that's funny.
Bigfoot Hannibal Lecter.
I can't speak for Matt, but I'm sure there's Bigfoots out there that are completely assholes.
There's assholes, and then there's probably Bigfoot Karens. Like the one where I think it was Gary that was talking about it, Gary Lynn, where the lady was driving down the road and she almost hit the baby
Bigfoot, yeah.
And then it came back the next day and it was like it was mad.
Yeah, it was a different Bigfoot.
It was older one.
Yeah, it was pissed off that, and she took a swing at the car.
Yeah, like just drive slower, Yeah. But there has to be a type of Bigfoot that is just not all there, and just loves.
Not even on like a psychopath level that Steven's taking it to. What happens whenever one gets injured or they get too old to, take care of themselves? Do the others pitch in and take care of those ones, or what do they do?
Oh yeah, that's like a branch of that. But just the whole, like there was that story where that Bigfoot like broke its leg or something. It was bleeding.
Oh yeah, the one
and the Bigfoot jumped over the lady.
Matt's story on that one.
Yeah. There's that one right there.
The teabagger one you talking about? What?
Teabagger Vance.
Yeah. God, I wasn't trying to bring that up, man.
This is Bigfoot Club. That's what we do, dude.
I mean, she said it.
I mean, yeah. She's like, oh yeah, I saw it.
It's scrotum.
But yeah, there's got to be a psychopath Bigfoot. That's what I was trying to get at.
Well, that one you're describing was the carrying one, and it just picked up the smaller
it's
Bigfoot.
The one that broke the other one's leg.
Yeah,
there's that. Yeah,
man, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's just psychopath. I mean, like the ones.
But, if they are a Bigfoot serial killer, do they kill other Bigfoot?
Yeah, they kill other Bigfoot, or they kill just anything that's living like by them. You
think they have like a trial?
That's
what Bigfoot.
That's what I was saying. Like, is there a Bigfoot police to that?
Right. And they
stupid. They have whistles. Hey. When they start running.
I don't know. I mean, that's a really good question, actually.
Yeah.
Because in the animal world, that doesn't really exist.
It doesn't.
It's like a human thing.
Yeah, it doesn't. Obviously.
But like if we go down the path of these things are more human than animal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so let's go back to like tribal times, whenever humans were still living in tribes, cavemen, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Were there serial killers back then?
Yeah,
there probably were, but
because you got to think about it. It was easy to get away with, and that right there is probably still easy with them.
Mm-hmm.
There was
but you're dependent on your group for survival. So if you go around killing everybody, you're going to die.
True, that's also true, but it doesn't necessarily have to be their own kind. Like maybe they like the killing of us,
Yeah, like the ones in Alaska. The
Alaskan big. What is that? What is the name that I always made fun of? Because I kept changing it every time. Fuck! I forgot how you.
I forgot how you pronounce it too.
That damn show, the Alaskan Bigfoot. They kept changing the name.
Yeah, that one killed a lot of people. Supposedly, allegedly killed a lot of people.
And supposedly, they made it seem like on the show. Obviously, it's a little bit kind of far fetched, but they made it seem like this Bigfoot was possessed by some evil entity on it that was.
Nantanuk.
Oh yeah, they said Nantanuk.
Nantanuk.
Yeah, they kept saying that, and I was like, dude, what the? How do you pronounce that? Because one's saying Nantanuk, the other one's saying Nantanuk, the other one's saying Nana, and then Turok, and I don't know.
Dinosaur hunter?
Yeah, right. Exactly, Turok. Turok.
So did you guys hear about that report down in Texas with the game cam picture and stuff, and like the game wardens got called?
I think so, but I see so many. But enlighten us, Matt.
Yeah, fill us in.
So this showed up on, like, how they'll do like sometimes on like Twitter on like a police profile or whatever you want to call it, an account for like a local police department. They'll kind of do like the blotter of calls that they get and reports that they get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was somewhere down in Texas, posted by like the local sheriff's, Twitter account, that a complainant had called and was telling them about what they believe is a Bigfoot captured on their game cam. They were like reporting it to the police, and they transferred the call to the local game wardens down there, and that the game wardens investigated the incident and got the game camera photo, like the person sent it to them and everything, and they turned it over to, I guess, the Texas Parks and Wildlife biologist to like look at the photo and make a determination.
I can't believe they went on the record and did that.
Yeah, I know.
Did they make the picture public?
No, of course not.
Damn it.
But here's the part that bugs me. Okay, so like, you're a game warden and you go to investigate because someone says they've got a photo of a Bigfoot on their game camera. Mm-hmm. And they've gone to the trouble of contacting the authorities about it, which is kind of brazen for a hoaxer,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you investigate it and you see the photo and you're like, well, I'm going to send this to a biologist because I'm no biologist. I can't tell you if it's a Bigfoot or not. Bullshit. Come on. You don't know if it's a Bigfoot or not in the photo. You need to give it to a biologist. You need to defer to a biologist. It doesn't take a biologist to know if you're looking at a Bigfoot on a photo or not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think some shenanigans are going on one way or another.
Maybe he just didn't want to fill out the paperwork of what the hell did I just see? Maybe it's out of his expertise. Like, I can't say that that's a person. I can't say that's a gorilla.
But yes, you can. You can, though. That's the thing.
But I guess what I'm saying is that's whatever depending on what the picture is. What the
angle, how
close it is, and what it's doing.
It's either you can tell what it is or you can't tell what it is. And if you can't tell what it is, then there's no reason to send it to a biologist because they're not going to be able to tell either.
Yeah, I mean, they can't.
So there has to be enough detail to think, we'll send it to a biologist and see what they say.
Yeah, they can't like take apart the picture and test it and stuff. So,
right.
But I personally have had 3 encounters with game wardens in Texas. 1 in Brown Springs, 2 in Sulphur Springs. And they are not supportive of anything that any Bigfooters do. And so, like the 3 times I don't know, I'll take it back. The 2 times I had encounters and I told them I was doing Bigfoot stuff, they hung out with us until we left. They would not let us like do stuff. They were just on our hip. And then like the 3rd time I got smart and I was going to school at the time and I told them I was a student, and I showed him my student ID, and I told him I was writing a paper on deer migration. So I was doing soil samples, and he left. He left me alone.
Nice. Maybe we need to do that.
Yeah.
So student IDs and stuff.
And so I don't know if I've told you this, Matt, but I talked to all the Australian people about that, and they were perplexed on why game wardens. And I said, they don't support it here. They just don't. And I think Yowie Dan and Gary Lynn, they were perplexed on why game wardens.
They're supportive over there.
I'm assuming so. I don't know. So, but
Well, here's the weird thing. Men in Black, game wardens, just some sort of federal level authority, whatever you want to call it. You have lots of stories of that happening in Texas. Like, I know a lot of researchers that have had run-ins with people like that, especially game wardens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it's more so in Texas than anywhere else. But I mean, like, obviously, I know you're telling the truth. And I've talked to a few other people who have also had run-ins that are just crazy sounding, like unmarked, blacked out vehicles pulling up with, guys in basically SWAT gear with assault rifles and holding everybody there, checking their IDs. Why are you here? What are you doing? And like, this is incidences where there's like no way that they should know that these people were going to be there, and they just show up there at the same exact moment as them and like shut it down.
Yeah. So
but in Oklahoma, we had like a park ranger like opening up areas that were closed off so we could go back there and investigate, and like giving us Bigfoot reports whenever they got them.
So that's weird.
yeah, because like I know, because like when I was with the TBRC, we had a spot over in Sulphur Springs. It was a place called Mahoney Slabs, and we had to go down this dirt road to go there, and we had to jump over a fence. And it's states on there, it's a state park and all that stuff. But
did everybody jump over the fence?
Yeah, no, not really.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That one guy didn't.
No, I think he crawled under it. So, but so whenever we did that, we figured out the second time around there was like a thing on the road that was like a sensor. It was tied to a tree. And if you went over it, it went off, and, had a sensor, like they have like those speed bumps to see how fast you're going. So they had that on the road, and as soon as we hit it, they were there. And I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a buddy of ours that was a constable, and I think he still had his radio, and he would call us and say, "Hey, are you guys in town? Because there's chatter saying that you're there." And I go, "Yeah, we're in town." And he goes, "Yeah, they're like talking about you." I go, "Okay."
I mean, why?
Yeah.
So
Why are they worried about it?
is it because of state laws are different when it comes to animals?
Well, if you're on state land and this is a theory I have. If you're on state land and there's Bigfoot activity there, they just don't want you there at all.
But why? And it sounds like, since we're talking about this, like Texas is more strict. Like,
Yeah.
Is Texas laws different when it comes to Oklahoma or any place else when it comes to that?
That I do not.
Mean, I don't know about the Bigfoot laws, but several years ago, didn't they release something and everybody got all pissed off about it because like Texas was like, it's legal to shoot a Bigfoot if you see one?
Yeah.
So maybe they're trying to backtrack and not do that now? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out why they are so strict when it comes to that.
I'm just saying that like a lot of people talk about, oh, there's the government cover up,
Yeah.
But in Texas, I know for a fact multiple times different researchers in different parts of Texas have had run-ins with authorities where you don't have that happening in other states for some reason.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
I don't know.
why is that?
I don't know, but I know that it's always been my theory that if we were to shoot one of them or discover a Bigfoot here in Texas, then you have to see its range. You have to see how far it goes, and if it goes like 300 miles, then you have to claim that as protected land. And if you do that, then you can't have aggressive, expansive growth, business wise or commercial wise, and then you got logging. So I think that affects all that stuff, and that's just my theory, my ideas on it. I could be wrong.
That's definitely a solid theory. A lot of people share it. My build off that is, I agree 100%. And that's under the pretense that if you shoot one and bring it in and they discover it's an animal, what if they discover it's a person? What if it is human?
Yeah.
Then what do you do? That's even more of a problem than it just being an endangered animal. Now this is a new human.
It's
you
a
know,
homicide.
this is a new group, a new society, a new culture. Like, where do we go from there?
Yeah, that's a super slippery slope, and
So do you think that's why they do it?
it's possible. It's possible.
Look at all the problems that have happened between the federal government of the United States and Native Americans whenever it comes to taking lands and everything that we did as a government and a people to the Native Americans whenever we started coming over here. You know, Oklahoma is in the middle of a huge legal battle right now, right here where I live in Tulsa, over who has jurisdiction, the city police or the tribe, because Tulsa is technically in the middle of a Native American reservation.
It sure
We're
is.
on reservation land. And there's supposed to be a separation in the government there. And forever, since Tulsa's been here, if a police officer pulls over somebody who's speeding, they write them a ticket, whether it doesn't matter if they're Native American or not. Well, now they're pointing out, like, hey, you're technically not allowed to write tickets to Native Americans on reservation land. So it's like this huge thing. Like, the mayor of Tulsa has even requested that it go to the Supreme Court and be argued. It's like that big of a deal right now.
Wow.
So, like, if you got something like that, if Bigfoot was proven, and not only proven, but proven to be a human, an actual race of human, were they here before the Native Americans? Is this their land that we infringed on? What happens to the treaties and contracts that we have with Native Americans if this other group of people were already here before them?
Man, that's deep. That's
Yeah,
super
man.
deep. That's super
What
deep.
the heck,
Crazy
man?
stuff. But, like, I mean, I'm sure if all that were to pan out and, you know, played out a certain way, don't tell me there ain't attorneys that wouldn't jump on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Damn.
And then if you do that in Oklahoma, you got to do that in Texas. You got to
Yeah.
do it in Alabama. You got to do it in
Because you're
Missouri.
no longer talking about endangered species habitat. You're talking about infringing on civil liberties. That's a whole new ballgame.
That's probably why they don't. I don't know. That's probably why they don't do it. So
They don't want to open up another can of worms that they can't really, that they're not prepared to follow through on that. I'm pretty sure they have the what if scenarios filled out, and if this happens and this happens, but they don't want. I'm pretty sure they don't want to do that.
and then also you got, and I'm reaching way out in left field on this one, is that what if Bigfoot can do that? You know, that infrasound. What if they actually can do it? The government's not going to want them found because they want to harness that. They want to figure out how Bigfoots do it, and they want to harness it, and that like them like weaponize it.
Oh.
So I don't know. I mean, I know I'm reaching really far on that one.
I mean, this shit. I mean, that's
But are you? I mean,
it's really not. And when it comes to this, because that's what we're known for, I guess.
here's the
over here.
deal. No matter what the reason, there's a reason. And, you know, one of the first things that ever occurred to me, you know, I was in a weird situation. I had a Bigfoot sighting, and I hadn't been doing the Bigfoot stuff very long, you know, compared to like other people who spent their entire lives trying to have a sighting and never saw one. So I saw it as I'm just some guy, you know, early 20s, looked up Bigfoot on the internet, went out with a group of people, and had a sighting in my own home state within the first couple of years. That's unheard of. That's crazy.
It is very.
But if I can do it, then the government has to know they exist. They have to know all about them. They've already captured them. They've already dissected them. They know exactly what they are. Because the government's always 20 steps ahead of where the civilian game is.
Yep.
So why do they want to keep this suppressed? Why do they not want to acknowledge these things? Because if it was just a great ape, if it was just like something like a gorilla out there walking around on two legs, we would have like, oh, wow, that's a way for us to make money. We can put them in zoos. We can set aside habitat and get, you know, federal funding for that. Like, they would have already done that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So I think they're definitely not just an ape of some kind.
No.
And I think the government, and whenever I say the government, not just the United States, definitely know exactly what they are. And for some, whatever that reason is, they don't want us to acknowledge them.
Yeah, I know whenever I interviewed Sarah Bignall on my show, she told me that she interviewed some military people, and she said they stated that whenever they were, I guess, going through their orientation, all that stuff, that they had literature stating that there are Yowies, but they weren't allowed to show it, that, you know, that stuff out in the public. But these soldiers were saying, because, yeah, we had pamphlets that said, you know, there are Yowies. This is what you do if, you know, if you see it while you're on patrol or you're out doing like an assignment or whatever. So I thought that was amazing that she told us that. And
I mean, your boy Todd Neese, you know, he had his sighting during a military, you know, practice, a drill basically. He told his superior immediately, and was basically told to just leave it alone.
Did you say,
let it go?
Did you say my boy?
Yeah, your boy, General Todd Neese.
Yeah,
5-star general.
I've met Todd.
Have you?
Yeah, in person. He's from Oregon.
Oregoni.
I'm just saying the point is, you know,
Right.
he was actively in the military whenever he had his sighting, like literally on a military exercise.
Yeah.
And he's certainly not the only government person who's ever had a sighting. So,
But where?
yeah, they know.
Where does it end? The government knows everything now.
It doesn't.
And like they probably know about freaking, you know, what's his name?
Ross Perot.
No, Cthulhu.
Cthulhu? I thought you were going to say the Smiling Man.
The Smiling Man. Shit, everything. You know, they probably open portals and shit.
Ingrid Cole.
Mm-hmm.
The Mothman Festival's going on this weekend.
Oh, yeah, it is. I would have liked to go to that.
That would have been nice.
It would have been really nice.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been nice.
I would have called Richard Gere and be like, "Where are you, man? Where are you?
What's in your pocket?
What's in your wallet?" Capital One. What's in your wallet? Chapstick. What do I got in my left hand?
So, oh man. So Bigfoot Crossroads is doing well, right?
I mean, I'm chugging along.
How many do you have seasons, or you just do episodes, right?
Nah, I just do episodes. I don't even know how to break down a season.
A year?
I don't know. I mean, I thought about maybe
20, 30 episodes and then be like, you know what? I need a break. I need about a good 3 months, 2 months.
Oh no, you can't do that.
Why
You
not?
can't do that.
So
Other people can do that. I can't do that.
But
so we end up doing, like, we'll take one during Christmas break, like for 2 weeks, and then we'll come back
I
and do.
think it's pretty much. Yeah, I think we cover November still. Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we would have continued all the way to Christmas break, but Grandma got sick last year, and we couldn't do it. So, and then, you know, she got better, and I was always over at the house, and I think she got better like in February, and that's when we started doing the show again. So, but typically we take like a 2 week break on December, 2 or 3 week. So that's when we do the brand new season, like in start of the year.
That's a clean slate,
Yeah.
fresh start.
I was getting all excited because I was like, "Oh man, what am I going to do for episode 100? I have episode 100 coming up." And I was like thinking about, you know, okay, well, I'm going to have like Bob and Steven on, you know, and then I realized, like, wait, I'm on like episode 80.
Yeah.
So that's still 20 weeks away. That's like 6 months from now. What am I talking about? I'm nowhere near episode 100.
Sometimes you turn out like 2 a week or something.
2 weeks.
No, that's not happening.
2 weeks.
That's crazy talk.
Well, we will be happy to come on, you know, BC and talk.
Figuratively and literally.
Because you were on our 100th.
Bitches.
Yeah. You were on our 100th episode, so.
Yes, you were. And that's whenever we did the hot sauce thing, right?
Yeah, the hot sauce stuff, and it was the one where I first said Luke Arthur Gross.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, lag. Thank God he's not a gamer.
I lost it.
20 weeks from now. I mean, that's a long ways away, but you know what would be really cool? If we did episode 100 live.
I knew you were going to say that.
In my house.
Oh,
That would be cool.
that would be cool.
As long as the roads are not icy.
Jesus.
They're not going to be icy.
Icy and no storms, please. I don't trust storms in Oklahoma now.
Yeah,
I just don't.
It's always like tenfold.
There's
there.
never just, it's just a little rain. No, it's tornadoes, hails, cows.
It's fine. It's all fine.
Hey, are we? Matt, are you watching Asuka? I mean Asuka.
What?
Ahsoka.
It's Asuka.
Wrestler.
Asuka De La Hoya?
No. She's a wrestler on WWE.
Oh, yeah. That's
Asuka Maya?
Asuka Maya, yeah. Are you watching Asuka Maya?
Are you watching Ahsoka?
I am.
What are your thoughts on it?
What are my thoughts on it? Well, I never watched the Clone Wars series.
It's okay, neither have I. Or the Rebels.
I'm halfway through it.
Now, I know that Clone Wars and Rebels both have a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff, this series is based on the events of those cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I know enough about them to understand what's going on in the series. But I'm like missing a lot of plot points, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really, really cool that they brought Anakin in.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed that a lot. And yeah, that's about all I can say.
Steven, I know you have some stuff that bothers you about this.
Okay, so, and Matt, I don't know if you feel the same way, and maybe the show explains it, but to me, I don't see it as canon because they never mentioned it on Revenge of the Sith. He was never a master, so why does he have an apprentice on that, the Clone Wars?
Well, I can answer that.
Please tell me, because I don't know. I honestly do not know.
Okay, so you don't have to be a master to have an apprentice. You just have to be a Jedi Knight. And Anakin was a Jedi Knight. And so, obviously, they had Anakin. They let Anakin be a Padawan, but the whole Jedi Council was like, I don't think this is a good idea. Like, no, he's crazy. Well, that continued on, even whenever he was like a Jedi Knight and everything. And he was really pissed off because they wouldn't make him a Jedi Master.
Even though he was doing Jedi Master stuff?
Right. So Yoda thought, hey, I'm going to assign an apprentice to him to have him train because that will help him develop and calm down and be a better guy that can be a master. And he put Ahsoka with him because she was very much like he was. She was very like rebellious and strong-willed and everything.
And
got into a lot of arguments.
Yeah, okay.
But she ended up, leaving him and just being like, yeah, I'm out. They didn't get along. They butted heads. And how it was supposed to help him, it didn't. He just continued doing the same stuff that he always does, where he got really protective of her and, held her back. He didn't want anything to happen to her and everything. And it just didn't do any good. But I too had that question because I was like, wait a second. How can that even be? He's not a Jedi Master.
Yeah.
You know what I'm enjoying about it is Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh my gosh.
I'm super enjoying that.
I never had a thing for aliens until now.
Syndulla.
She's a Hera?
Syndulla. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's Ewan McGregor's wife.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. I guess they ended up falling for each other when they did the Fargo. series together.
Yeah.
And
Well, hello there.
literally,
I have the high ground.
yeah. I'm like, oh, do you now? What sucks is that he was already married, so I guess that they kind of
Oh man.
It happens.
It happens, I guess. But Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Jesus Christ, that woman. I've been in love with her since freaking Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah. It's a good movie, by the way.
Was she in that?
Yeah.
Oh yes, she was Ramona Flowers. Ramona Flowers?
Yeah.
Did they really?
I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I'm halfway through the Clone Wars, and
I thought we were talking about Ahsoka. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
yeah,
I was like, like agreeing with you. For some reason, I saw like the first 3 episodes of the Clone Wars, and it was not.
It's like it's almost like Supernatural. There's a lot. There's like 22 episodes, I think, a season.
Yeah, luckily it's 30 minutes.
So
but,
it's a lot.
Yeah, but a lot of like, man, you gotta watch. A lot of people, Star Wars fans, are like,
Not every episode. You need to watch every episode, but there's certain episodes in there that you do need to watch that they talk about
because I definitely
Mandalore
I want to definitely see it for Mandalorians and Darth Maul. Because I love Darth Maul. I think he's
who's the voice for Darth Maul?
that's Sam Witwer.
Yeah.
He does the voice for him. Great actor, great voice actor.
He was in Tulsa this past summer.
Oh, really?
He was.
He's a good guy. He said my name on Twitch.
Oh yeah, because you're
I'm rewatching Dexter, and he played Neil Perry.
Oh Lord,
a serial or wannabe serial killer, and I just happened to go on his Twitch while he was live, and I was like, "Hey, Neil Perry," and he was like, "Big Boy Jones, are you doing Dexter? Are you watching Dexter?" I was like, "Yes." He said my name. It was awesome.
Say my name.
Say my name. But now I really need to watch. I want to say Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars. I really need to watch it.
Rebels.
And is there another one? There's another one that Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's
Baby Jedi.
Yeah.
Actually, the boys are watching that. They keep telling me about it.
Bad Batch is pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying it's really good, and I'm like, it's just another show I got to watch, man.
I tried watching Clone Wars. I tried watching Rebels, and I couldn't do it.
See, it's not just me. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I thought they were horrible. I thought the animation was horrible. I thought the writing was horrible. I thought the characters were horrible.
But
I was born the year Star Wars came out. I am a Star Wars baby. Okay? Star Wars is ingrained into my childhood, and it takes more than some lightsabers and a Boba Fett helmet to get me interested in the Star Wars.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Some of it's pretty bad, but in order for me to encompass what they're doing now, I'm just going to it's like WWE. You got to eat a shit sandwich to get over, and I'm just gonna do it.
But that's the thing, though.
I couldn't do it. Someday I might just rip my teeth and bear it and get through it, but I couldn't get over the hump.
But wouldn't you say, like, I guess the story that they're following right now, that's where a lot of people, like, so many fans are like, oh my God, the Clone Wars, like, they were like just having an orgasm, nerdgasm, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, because they have to progress the story.
Yeah.
So like whenever the Phantom Menace and all that stuff came out, my generation was like, yes, Star Wars is back. Thank you. But like now I get it. Nobody cares about Luke Skywalker anymore, which is sacrilegious to me, but
it is.
But like that's the thing. You have to let the original trilogy people go. They don't care about Han Solo. They don't care about Princess Leia. So they're trying to like move along, and so now the generation that grew up with Clone Wars and Rebel is now old enough where this is nostalgia for them, and that's why it's being put out the way it is.
Yeah.
But even then, like whenever it was coming out, I got excited for it, and then when I was watching it, I was like, I'm not enjoying this. Anakin's there. Yeah, Obi-Wan is there. And then I stopped watching it, and a lot of people were like, at the time, were like, dude, you got to watch it. Darth Maul comes back. I'm like, really? And then I started rewatching it again, and I was like, I couldn't even make it to
Darth Maul
episodes. I'm like, does it get good when it gets to Darth Maul? Like, is there more to...
to be honest with you, I'm watching it, primarily for the backstories.
And I get that, yeah. Like, there's some Star Wars stories that are like the side stories are so great, and I'm other characters that need to shine light on, and I love that, but that's why I like Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all that stuff. But I don't get the whole.
I noticed you haven't said another show on the Star Wars stuff.
What other show?
Andor. You know.
Oh, okay. So okay, Matt, what is your
You mean
thoughts
Han
on
Solo?
What is your thought on Andor?
I mean, it was a good show. I just don't see what it had to do with Star Wars.
Okay. Now, you and I both know it's from Rogue One.
Yes.
And I'm all like, okay. So when they decided to make the show, I was like, why?
I apologize for that already.
Like, I get, what's his name? Diego Luna?
Yeah.
I love Diego Luna. Great actor. He's up and rising, all that. That's awesome. But I was like, why? Obviously, it's going to be a prequel. It's not. And then I was right. Yeah, it is a prequel. Duh. But I was all like, why are they making a show? So the first 3 episodes were great.
If you're going to do a show like that, why can't we just have like Rogue Squadron or something? Give us X-Wing pilots. Give us a story that follows them or something.
I'm just going to say this. I think this is, and I'm just reaching here again. I think this part of the story is where the politics and the money come into where does Rebels get the money and the politics and the hidden support. Mm-hmm. That's just the view that I have. That's what I interpreted that show as. So
it showed us the source of the blood money behind the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And like, okay, cool, but that's not why I like Star Wars.
Exactly. So this is where I was going with, Matt, is that Game of Thrones, ever since Game of Thrones came out, it was all about politics. Everything is about politics nowadays.
Right.
But Game of Thrones kind of it stems from that, and
But in Game of Thrones, the politicians got their hands bloody.
Exactly. But I'm getting to where I feel like everybody's trying to copy that. So when I was watching Andor, it did not fit that story at all. They were showing too much of that guy that was obsessed with Andor. I didn't fucking care about his character. I don't care about his character. A lot of people are going to be pissed. Like, what the?
Did you notice that they tried to tie Ahsoka into that?
Yeah,
into the Andor series.
And I'm all like,
really?
Oh, that's the only thing that's going to probably help the show. So the shit sandwich. That's basically what it was. The first 3 episodes or 4 episodes was really good. There was that 3 episodes in the middle where he was in prison, and I'm like, okay, great, escape the damn prison, okay. Yeah, great. We get it.
The show. It's
like,
literally that one show.
It's literally the show. Yeah, I get it. But and then they were showing that bad guy and his mom had how I don't know. It was just I was not feeling. I was like, this is so boring. Hurry. So I powered through it. I finally finished it, and I was like, okay, Andor. I give it a 7 out of 10. Could have been greater if they just took those 3 episodes out where I didn't really care about the damn guy that was obsessed with him. Did not care about it. And I already told Robert this too, and he was like, "Okay, man, hold back. Tell me how you feel."
Yeah, I mean, they could have just took those episodes out. It wouldn't affect the series.
It really wouldn't. And then
I just think it was a waste of money. Like, it's a show that didn't need to happen.
Honestly, it did not.
Would you guys be more interested if they did like a Darth Maul backstory?
Yes. 100%.
Let's see some dark side stuff. Why do we always have to follow the heroes?
Yeah,
let's follow the villains for a while.
Do a Sith show. I guarantee you that show will blow up. Like, literally, it would. Like, because you talk about gray Jedis, the Jedis that really just there's no good or bad. It's just it's all neutral in a way. So
and in the Star Wars universe, in the expanded universe, that's kind of what Luke Skywalker was.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker was kind of the one that was like, we're just going to do both.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear black.
Yeah, he was the only Jedi to wear all black. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they skipped a lot of stuff in telling the story. And that's one of the problems I have with what's going on now is I'm kind of like you, Steven. Like, if you follow the movies, like, when did all this stuff with Anakin happen?
I know. They made it seem like it was a long time thing.
Yeah, we had the Clone Wars, and then he's like becoming Darth Vader. And you're trying to tell me that in that time, like, he went off on his own, he finished his Jedi training, he had a Padawan. They didn't mention that in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, they never did.
He killed some sand people.
Like, honestly, I felt like they could have, I don't know, done that for Attack of the Clones. Like,
I mean, in Revenge of the Sith, he's still kind of acting like an apprentice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay. I'm glad I'm not.
He's like the older teenager that's pissed off and like, I don't have to listen to you, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't get that. A lot of people are like, well, they explained it on the show. I'm like, when
did they?
No, they explained it in the cartoon that nobody watched.
Exactly. Oh my God, we're gonna get so much hate for this. Probably
it's okay,
man.
It's okay, man.
The Clone Wars were like the very significant thing of Star Wars, man.
Were they from California?
Oh man. Yeah, probably. They probably were.
Just wait until they start like basing shows off the cartoon droids from back in the day.
Oh Lord!
And then they'll be like, "What? What's happening? Who is that person?"
And then they can. I mean, there's just so much.
And honestly, I would be okay with a series that followed like C-3PO and R2-D2.
I would be okay with that too.
They're on every show. They're on everything. Do you really need them?
No,
on?
they just make generic versions of them and put them in there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Or they can do like a Chewbacca show and just have the whole thing.
I would be interested in
the
that.
whole thing of this talking, and they have
And
subtitles
what's
on
the
the
name of the droid in this one? Chopper?
Chopper, yeah.
I like him.
Since when do we have astro droids that talk? Where you can like literally hear them speaking English. Like we're no longer just going to have them beeping and stuff. We're just going to have them talking in a robot voice.
Matt, thanks for coming on. Really, really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Matt?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Matt.
I was just waiting on Steven. I thought.
Oh.
I was waiting on you to be like,
appreciative that I was here. But
I thought you were going to be like, oh, right.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. Thanks for having me on, Bob.
Matt, as always, thank you so much for being on our show multiple times. It's always a pleasure. Every episode.
Absolute delight.
Absolute delight.
Yeah.
It's almost like delight as daylight donuts.
Dang, I knew you were going to work that
Fresh. Oh, man, that was great. Wasn't that great, man?
in. It was. I enjoyed it.
We were like, it was like back in 2011 time.
Yeah.
You know?
I was in my 30s.
I was in my teens. I was 19.
So it was great.
Uh-huh.
So Matt, how can Bigfoot Club listeners find Bigfoot Crossroads?
You can find me by going to your browser and typing in BigfootClubPodcast.com.
Oh man,
Matt, that's our podcast. What's your podcast?
I mean, it's very similar. BigfootCrossroads.com. Everything all in one place, right there for you. Past episodes, links to merchandise, buy a T-shirt or a hoodie.
social media.
Social media is there. Links to everything. A contact form. All of it. It's all right there.
All right there.
All right there.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
All right.
Okay, well, I think from here on out we can say good night and
Good luck.
good luck.